Welcome back to Storytime with Thisbe. Today we have Goldilocks and the Three Bears as told by Cliff Moon. This is another book from Friends of the Kimberly Public Library. Once upon a time, there were three bears, and they lived in the middle of a deep, dark wood. The three bears had three bowls. Father Bear had a great big bowl. Mother Bear had a middle-sized bowl, and Baby Bear, of course, had a tiny little bowl. The three bears had three chairs. Father Bear had a great big chair. Mother Bear had a middle-sized chair, and Baby Bear, of course, had a tiny little chair. The three bears had three beds. Father Bear had a great big bed. Mother Bear had a middle-sized bed, and Baby Bear had, what? You guessed it, a little tiny bed. One day, the three bears made their porridge for their breakfast. The porridge was too hot, so they went out for a walk until it cooled down. Well, a little girl lived with her mother near the deep dark wood, and her name was Goldilocks. Every day her mother said, "Goldilocks, you must never go into the deep dark wood on your own." Now, Goldilocks was not a very good little girl, and one day when her mother went out to the shops, Goldilocks went into the deep, dark woods all on her own. Goldilocks walked farther and farther into the deep, dark woods until she came to the house where the three bears lived. She peeked through the window. There was no one there, so she went inside, which is just a bad life choice, children. Goldilocks saw the three bowls at the table. Her tummy rumbled. She was hungry. So first, she tried Father Bear's porridge in the great big bowl, but it was still too hot. Next, she tried Mother Bear's porridge in the middle-sized bowl, but it had gotten too cold. Last, she tried Baby Bear's porridge in the little tiny bowl. It was not too hot or not too cold. It was just right, so she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks saw the three chairs. She was tired, so first she sat in Father Bear's big chair, but it was too hard. Next, she sat in Mother Bear's middle-sized chair, but it was too soft. Last, she sat in Baby Bear's tiny chair. It was not too hard or too soft. It was just right, except crash! It was too small and it broke into pieces. Oops. Goldilocks went upstairs and saw the three beds. She was feeling sleepy, so she lay down on Father Bear's great big bed, but the pillow was too high. Next, she lay down on Mother Bear's middle-sized bed, but the pillow was too low. Last, she lay down on Baby Bear's tiny bed. The pillow was not too high, and it was not too low. It was just right, so she stayed there, and she fell fast asleep. Well, just then the three bears came back in from their walk. First, Father Bear looked down at his bowl and said with a great big voice, "Who's been eating my porridge?" Next, Mother Bear looked at her bowl and said in a middle-sized voice, "Who's been eating my porridge?" Last of all, Baby Bear looked at his tiny little bowl, and he said in a tiny little voice, "And who's been eating my porridge? It's all been eaten up." Aw, poor Baby Bear. Then the three bears looked at their chairs. First, Father Bear said in a great big voice, "Who's been sitting in my chair?" And Mama Bear said in her middle-sized voice, "Who's been sitting in my chair?" Last of all, Baby Bear with his tiny little voice, "Who's been sitting in my chair and has broken it into pieces?" It's a bad day for Baby Bear. Then the three bears went upstairs and looked at their beds. First, Father said in a great big voice, "Who's been lying in my bed?" Next, Mother Bear in a middle-sized voice said, "Who's been lying in my bed?" Then last of all, Baby Bear said in a tiny little voice, "And who's been lying in my bed? Well, she's sleeping here right now." Just then Goldilocks woke up, and the three bears shouted, "Help!" in a great big voice. Then Goldilocks jumped out of the window and ran all the way home to her mother. Goldilocks never went to the deep dark woods again all on her own. So that is how Goldilocks met the three bears, and this is the end of the story. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time.